How to be a capitalist without any capital is not just about starting a business, it's about a complete tactical takeover of the modern economy. If you want to build massive recurring income, own assets without the overhead, and stop trading your time for a paycheck, this book is your blueprint. Published in 2019, Nathan Latka's contrarian approach remains more relevant than ever in today's creator and software-driven economy, having influenced a global wave of indie hackers and unconventional entrepreneurs who refuse to follow the traditional 9-to-5 path. Nathan Latka didn't start with a trust fund or a high-level degree. He started in his dorm room, cold calling small businesses to sell them Facebook pages back when that was a new thing. He built Heyo, scaled it to millions, and eventually sold it, all while documenting the process with a level of transparency that shocked the industry. He wrote this book to prove that focus is a lie told by the elite and that the fastest way to wealth is to systemize, copy, and scale. This summary is for the side hustlers, the aspiring entrepreneurs who feel stuck because they lack seed money, and anyone tired of the traditional advice to focus on one thing. If you have an internet connection and a bit of grit, this is your manual. In this video, I'll break down the entire book, chapter by chapter, covering every important principle so that by the end, you'll understand its core message completely. We're going to dive deep into Nathan Latka's specific rules for wealth, from why you should stop focusing on just one skill to how you can acquire assets with $0 down. Whether you're a side hustler or an aspiring CEO, you'll walk away with the exact tactics used to build a multi-million-dollar empire from a laptop. Chapter 1. Multitasking is better than sticking to one skill. The conventional wisdom to focus on one thing is a trap designed to keep you as a replaceable cog in someone else's machine. To become a modern capitalist, you must reject the myth of the specialist and instead build multiple streams of income simultaneously. This isn't about being scattered, it's about strategic diversification of your greatest asset, your time. Society and the corporate world prize specialists because they are easier to categorize, manage, and replace. However, the wealthiest individuals are almost always generalists who understand how to connect dots across different industries. By running 4 or 5 projects at once, you psychologically decouple your self-worth and financial survival from any single point of failure. If one project hits a wall, you don't panic because you have several others already generating momentum and cash. Nathan Latka shares how he ignored the experts who told him he was being too unfocused. While he was scaling a software company, he was also aggressively building a top-tier business podcast, investing in residential real estate, and developing pickaxe tools for other entrepreneurs. Because he refused to focus, he created a powerful ecosystem where his podcast provided leads for his software, and his software provided the capital for his real estate. His lack of focus was actually his greatest competitive advantage. Diversification shouldn't be reserved for your stock portfolio. It should be the foundation of your daily schedule. Waiting for Project A to be perfect before starting Project B is a recipe for stagnation. Speed and variety allow you to test the market faster than any specialist ever could. If you are currently in a 9-to-5, do not just work and go home. Use your evenings to launch a niche newsletter and your weekends to test a small e-commerce store or a consulting service. Use the skills you learn in your day job to fuel your side projects, and use the data from your side projects to make yourself more valuable in your career. True financial security and freedom come from owning a portfolio of active experiments, not from mastering a single craft. Chapter 2. Copy your competitors. The obsession with innovation and originality is a trap that leads many entrepreneurs straight into bankruptcy. To be a successful capitalist without capital, you should stop trying to invent the next world-changing idea and start looking for what is already generating money. The goal is to find a proven market and enter it as a fast follower who executes better, faster, or more efficiently than the pioneers who took all the initial risks. Being first to market is incredibly expensive and psychologically draining because you have to educate your customers on why they need a product they've never heard of. It is far more profitable to let your competitors spend the millions on market research and trial and error. Once you see a competitor spending money on advertisements, you have psychological proof of concept. Their spending is a signal that there are customers with open wallets ready to buy. Nathan Latka illustrates this by looking at the software world. He didn't sit in a dark room trying to dream up a revolutionary social media tool. Instead, he observed what was already working for businesses on Facebook. He saw companies struggling to run contests and recognized that existing tools were either too clunky or too expensive. He took the core functionality of what was already being sold, refined the user experience, and marketed it to the same audience. He didn't invent the contest, he just provided a better vehicle for it. Your competition is actually your greatest unpaid research and development department. If they are successful, they have already mapped out the gold mines for you. Your job isn't to find a new mine, it's to build a better shovel and show up where the gold has already been found. Scan platforms like Amazon, AppSumo, or even local service listings. Identify the top-selling products or services and read the negative reviews. What are people complaining about? Is the price too high? Is the interface confusing? Is the customer support slow? Take the existing winner, fix those specific pain points, and launch your version to that same hungry market. Success leaves a digital trail. Save your energy by following those tracks instead of trying to hack a new path through the wilderness. Chapter 3. Focus on systems, not goals. Relying on goals is a recipe for failure because once a goal is reached, the motivation disappears, and if it isn't reached, you feel like a failure. To be a true capitalist, you must shift your mindset toward building systems. A system is a repeatable process that produces a result regardless of your mood, your motivation, or even your physical presence. While goals are about a future point in time, systems are about the machine you build today to produce wealth forever. Goals create a binary state of mind. You are either successful or you are failing until the goal is met. This creates immense psychological stress and often leads to burnout. Systems, however, provide a sense of continuous progress. When you focus on the process, you fall in love with the machine rather than the finish line. This allows you to detach your emotions from the daily ups and downs of business and focus on tuning the engine for maximum efficiency. Nathan Latka illustrates this through his approach to content and lead generation. Instead of setting a goal to get 100 new customers this month, he built a system for his podcast. He automated the outreach to guests, standardized the interview questions, and created a pipeline where every episode automatically fed into his software sales funnel. Whether he felt like hustling that day or not, the system moved the needle. He wasn't chasing a number, he was managing a factory that produced numbers. A goal is a one-time event, but a system is an asset. If you want to scale without capital, you cannot be the person doing all the work. You must be the architect who designs the workflow so that it can eventually be handed off to a cheap software tool or virtual assistant. Look at any task you do more than twice a week. Instead of just doing it, document the exact steps. Create a checklist or a screencast video explaining the process. Then, look for a way to automate it using tools like Zapier or hire a freelancer to execute that specific checklist. Your job is to stop being the operator and start being the owner of the process. Don't build a business that requires your constant genius. Build a system that works while you sleep. Chapter 4. Sell pickaxes to the gold miners. The smartest way to build wealth during a rush is rarely by digging for the gold yourself. It is by selling the tools that diggers need to survive. This pickaxe strategy involves identifying a trending industry where everyone is competing for the same prize and then positioning yourself as the essential service provider or software layer that supports all of them. While the gold miners take the massive risks of failure, the tool sellers collect reliable, recurring checks. When a new market becomes popular, whether it's crypto, e-commerce, or AI, the psychological state of the participants is one of FOMO, or fear of missing out, and high competition. People are willing to spend money on anything that gives them an edge or simplifies a complex task. By being the tool seller, you tap into this high-demand energy without having to worry about which specific miner actually finds the gold. You profit from the activity of the market, not just the success of it. Nathan Latka highlights how he didn't just try to be another influencer or SaaS founder in a crowded room. Instead, he looked at what all those founders needed: data. He realized that every entrepreneur wanted to know how much their competitors were making. Instead of competing with them, he built a database, a pickaxe, that tracked their revenue and metrics. He became the guy everyone had to visit to get the information they needed to compete. He wasn't digging for the software gold, he was selling the map to the mine. The most stable businesses are those that are market agnostic. If you sell a service that helps people get more customers or manage their data, it doesn't matter which specific company wins the market, they all need your service to function. Identify a booming gold rush happening right now. Are people flocking to start newsletters? Then don't just start a newsletter, build a tool that helps people find sponsors or a service that edits their audio. Are people opening Shopify stores? Build a specialized app that helps them recover abandoned carts. Find the pain point that every miner in that niche shares and solve it for them. While the masses are busy fighting over the prize, the real capitalist is busy selling them the equipment they need to fight.
Chapter 5. Maximize your assets. Most people are sitting on a gold mine of underutilized assets without even realizing it. To be a capitalist without capital, you must shift your perspective from buying new things to squeezing more value out of what you already own or control. This chapter is about identifying the hidden value in your current business, your data, your physical space, or even your existing relationships, and turning that dormant potential into active, recurring cash flow. The human brain is naturally wired for newness. We often think the solution to our financial problems is a new idea or a new product. However, the most efficient way to increase your wealth is to reduce the waste in your current setup. There's a psychological hurdle to overcome here, the belief that an asset only has one use. Once you see everything you own as a multi-dimensional tool, you begin to see profit opportunities that others completely overlook. Nathan Latka demonstrates this through a very literal example, his own living situation and his business data. Instead of just paying for an expensive apartment, he looked at how to make the apartment pay for itself by renting out the extra space or using it as a backdrop for high-value content. In his business, he didn't just sell software, he realized the data his software collected was an asset in itself. By anonymizing and aggregating that data, he created a whole new product, a data insights platform that hedge funds and investors were willing to pay thousands for. He didn't build a new company, he just maximized an asset he already had. An asset is only as valuable as the number of ways you use it. If you have a car, it's a liability. If you use that car to deliver goods, it's a tool. If you wrap that car in an advertisement while you deliver those goods, it's a high-yield asset. Every resource you have should be audited for secondary and tertiary income streams. Perform an asset audit on your life and business. If you have a blog, can you turn the old posts into an ebook? If you have an office, can you rent out the desk space on the weekends? If you have a customer list, are there complementary products from other companies you can recommend to them for a commission? Look for the byproducts of your current work and find a way to sell them. You don't need more resources, you need to find more ways to use the resources you already have.
Chapter 6. Living like a king for cheap. High-level living is often confused with high-level spending, but the modern capitalist understands that lifestyle design is a game of arbitrage.
To build wealth without capital, you must aggressively lower your personal cost of living while maintaining or even increasing your quality of life. This isn't about being a cheapskate. It is about redirected capital. Every dollar you don't spend on a bloated mortgage or a depreciating luxury car is a dollar that can be deployed into an asset that buys you more freedom. Society feeds us a pre-packaged version of success that usually involves massive overhead and debt. Psychologically, most people feel they need to look rich before they are rich, which leads to lifestyle creep. The capitalist flips this script. By finding ways to get luxury experiences for a fraction of the cost, you remove the financial pressure that forces most people to stay in jobs they hate. When your burn rate is low, your risk tolerance goes through the roof, allowing you to make bolder business moves. Nathan Latka shares how he managed to live in high-end apartments and travel the world while spending significantly less than the average middle-class professional. He didn't do this by staying in hostels, he did it by negotiating. For example, he would find luxury apartments that had been on the market for a long time and offer the landlord a deal. He would pay a lower rent in exchange for helping them market the building or signing a non-traditional lease. He treated his personal life like a business transaction, finding the win-win that allowed him to enjoy a king-like lifestyle on a peasant's budget. Price is rarely a fixed number. It is a starting point for a conversation. If you can provide value to a vendor or a landlord, whether through marketing, upfront payments, or referrals, you can often slash your recurring expenses by 30 to 50%. This saved money becomes your seed money for your next venture. Audit your 3 biggest expenses: housing, transportation, and food. Can you move to a city with lower taxes and a lower cost of living while keeping your remote income? Can you negotiate your rent by offering to manage the building's social media? Can you use credit card churning or point systems to travel for free? Every recurring bill should be viewed as a negotiation waiting to happen. Wealth isn't just about how much you make, it's about the massive gap between your low expenses and your high income.
Chapter 7: How to buy a business with no money. Acquiring an existing profitable business is often faster and less risky than building one from scratch, even if you have $0 in the bank. This no money down strategy relies on using the business's own future profits or the value of its existing assets to fund the purchase. By identifying tired owners or businesses with untapped potential, you can structure a deal where you take over the driver's seat while the previous owner gets paid over time. Most people assume that buying a business is something only reserved for wealthy private equity firms or corporate titans. This mental barrier keeps the average entrepreneur stuck in the startup phase, which has a 90% failure rate. The capitalist mindset, however, recognizes that many business owners are looking for an exit more than they're looking for a massive lump sum. They may be burnt out, retiring, or simply bored. For them, a reliable monthly payment from a competent successor is more psychologically appealing than a complex failed sale. Nathan Latka breaks down how he looked for software companies that had plateaued. He didn't look for the unicorns, he looked for the zombies, companies that were making $10,000 to $20,000 a month but hadn't grown in years. He would approach the owner and offer a seller note. Instead of paying $500,000 up front, he would offer to pay them a portion of the monthly profits until the price was met. He used the cash flow from the company he just bought to pay for the company itself. He walked into the deal with no capital and walked out with a cash-flowing asset. The value of a business is not just its bank balance, it's its momentum. If you can prove that you were the right person to maintain or increase that momentum, the owner becomes your bank. You aren't asking for a loan, you are offering a partnership where they get a guaranteed exit and you get an established machine. Look for boring businesses on marketplaces like BizBuySell or specialized SaaS brokers like QuietLight. Reach out to owners of apps that haven't been updated in a year. Propose an earn-out or seller financing structure. I will pay you X amount over 36 months, funded by the business's profits. If you can improve the marketing or cut unnecessary costs immediately, you've just bought yourself a paycheck for free.
You don't need to be a millionaire to buy a business. You just need to be the person who can manage it better than the current owner. Chapter 8: Scaling and Multiplying Your Income. The final frontier of the modern capitalist is moving from owning one machine to managing a factory of machines. Scaling is not about working harder, it is about increasing the distance between your input and your output. To truly multiply your income, you must master the art of leverage, using other people's time, other people's money, and software algorithms to amplify your results without increasing your personal workload. Many entrepreneurs hit a plateau of competence where they feel they're the only ones who can do the job right. This is a psychological prison. To scale, you must overcome the fear of relinquishing control. You have to shift your identity from a doer to a multiplier. The goal is to reach a state where your income grows exponentially while your time commitment remains flat or even decreases. This requires a ruthless commitment to automation and high-level delegation. Nathan Latka demonstrates this by showing how he turned a single podcast into a massive media and data engine. He didn't just record more episodes, he built a system where a single 20-minute interview was multiplied. One recording became a podcast episode, a YouTube video, a series of LinkedIn posts, and, most importantly, a data entry in his private database that he could sell to investors. By layering these different income streams on top of a single action, he wasn't just adding to his income, he was multiplying the value of every minute he spent working. True wealth is built through stacking assets. If you have a successful product, don't just sell it. Use it to capture data, then sell the data. Then use the data to identify a new business to buy, and use the profits from that business to fund an automated marketing agency. Each layer of the stack should feed the next, creating a self-sustaining ecosystem of wealth. Look at your most successful project and ask, how can I sell this 3 different ways? If you're a consultant, can you turn your advice into a software tool? If you have a software tool, can you turn the user data into a market report? Once a process is profitable, hire a specialist to run it and move on to the next layer of your stack. Your job is to be the conductor of the orchestra, not the lead violinist. You don't get rich by doing more. You get rich by making sure everything you do produces multiple streams of value.
Final summary. At its core, How to Be a Capitalist Without Any Capital teaches that building wealth is not about having a large bank account, a prestigious degree, or even a revolutionary new idea. Instead, it is about mastering systems, leverage, and the courage to ignore traditional rules. Nathan Latka's message is clear. The old economy rewarded the specialist who focused on one thing for 40 years, but the modern economy rewards the strategic generalist, the individual who understands how to connect different assets to create a self-sustaining ecosystem of wealth. The book effectively dismantles the myth that you need seed money or venture capital to succeed. It proves that by copying what is already working, automating the boring parts of a business, and stacking multiple income streams, anyone with an internet connection can reach the status of the new rich. This isn't just about a career change, it's a fundamental identity shift. Influence in this context isn't about being the smartest person in the room or working the longest hours. It's about owning the platforms, the data, and the essential tools that everyone else in your industry depends on. When you sell the pickaxes to the gold miners, you stop gambling on your own success and start profiting from the success of the entire market. The ultimate transformation this book offers is the move from being a specialized worker trading your limited time for a paycheck to becoming a true capitalist who owns a portfolio of assets that work 24/7. By focusing on recurring revenue and high-margin systems, you stop chasing a single elusive goal and start managing a high-performance machine that produces the ultimate currency: freedom. Critical analysis. The strongest point Latka makes is his ruthless commitment to transparency and data. Unlike many gurus who speak in vague, motivational terms, he provides actual screenshots, email scripts, and names of tools. This makes the book a practical field manual rather than just a collection of ideas. However, where the book falls short is in its dismissal of the human element of business. Latka's contrarian tone can sometimes come across as overly transactional. While copying competitors is a valid business tactic, it can lead to a lack of brand soul or long-term customer loyalty if you don't eventually add unique value. Additionally, some of the specific software tools mentioned in 2019 are now outdated, though the logic behind using them remains sound. You have to look past the specific apps and focus on the underlying systems. Conclusion. If you found this summary of Nathan Latka's New Rules of Wealth valuable, I'm glad you stuck around until the end. If you're ready to start building your own systems, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us reach more people who are looking to break out of the 9-to-5 grind. I post 3 deep dive book summaries every week to help you level up your business, your mindset, and your life. Thanks for watching and have a great day.